you are.
Hi.
Thought I clicked your button. Thank you for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show. I am Nikki Medoro. She is Kim McAllister. I am trying to plug my computer in before it dies. Thank you for joining us. A big day to go over in the Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels hush money trial. But before we get to that, Kim McAllister, the big news, of course, was the classified documents case apparently being postponed. So we're going to talk about that. Please, before we get into it, though, click that subscribe button and that thumbs up. We love it. We always love more subscribers to join our adorable community. So make sure you do that so you don't miss a moment.
How many do we have now? How many are there?
How many what? Subscribers?
Mm-hmm.
4.67 thousand.
Oh, so we're very close to 4,700.
We're very close to 4,700.
Okay, we can
do
very,
it. We want to grow it. We want to grow it. Tell all your friends and family and everything like that.
All right.
Okay, so I don't know if 4,700 was the number of classified documents, but there were a buttload in Donald Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago, in his bathroom, next to his toilet, like everything. But apparently it's not looking like he is ever going to face the music for this. And why? Because the judge in the case, a Trump appointed judge, and I even hesitate on mentioning that because, Trump throws the same thing. This is what Biden appointed judge. And it's like judges are judges. But still, let's just add that caveat. Has decided to postpone it indefinitely because there are some sort of questions about, the classified documents, how they're going to be used at the trial. Now, I have a video here from CNN, and this gentleman actually worked for former President Trump. And actually, he is extremely unhappy with the decision. Here we go.
Yep.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Aaron. This is direct. This is clear. All she's really done today, though, is make official what everybody, including Jack Smith, already knew, which was she had no intention of getting this case to trial, and she wasn't competent to get this case to trial. She talks about her duty to fully and fairly consider the pending motions. She's had months to do that and did very little. She's ruled on only 3 of the 12 motions to dismiss, all of which could have been easily resolved by now. She ignored Jack Smith's Jack Smith set forth a detailed hearing and pleading schedule for the CIPA issues, the Classified Intelligence Materials, Procedures Act materials, which she wholly ignored and did not act on until today when she scheduled 2 of the necessary hearings on that for the first time. So, this is something that I think it was always her objective, frankly, to prevent this from going to trial. But also, I think her inability, wholesale inability, to do it was made palpable.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the point. It's just there are ramifications for her delay, and she's continuously, delayed various deadlines, basically ensuring that this case does not go to trial before Election Day. Yep. Special Counsel Jack Smith, according to ABC News, has not yet commented on the delay. The court has vacated what would have been the May 20th trial date and then reset sometime in the future. She has 2 hearings set, the judge does, on May 22nd on 2 motions to dismiss. And of course, this all has to do with this 37 count indictment related to Trump's handling of those classified decisions. And
which some people thought was kind of the most slam dunk of all the cases.
Exactly. Yeah. So now it falls on us. Now it falls on the voters, because the truth of the matter is, the Stormy Daniels case, yes, it is a criminal trial, right? But we don't know what, if any, sort of punishment. I'm kind of banking on him spending some time in jail just for not shutting the hell up on Truth Social, of course. You saw how he deleted something. He totally violated the gag order on Truth Social, calling out the judge, saying it's crooked, blah, 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 and then quickly deleted it, forgetting, of course, that this is 2024 and people screenshot things immediately. And so who knows if the judge is really going to call his bluff, throw him in jail, because that's what he said before. It's like, obviously the money's not working. Yeah. You're violating the gag order. Jail is what's next, buddy. And Trump is not listening.
Well, the mayor of New York says they're ready at Rikers Island, that they are ready. The Department of Corrections of New York has prepared for the possibility of Trump going to jail if he violates this gag order again. They have discussed the hypothetical about where they're going to keep him, how they're going to handle it, what they're going to do, how the Secret Service might be involved, all of these things. He said they're professionals and that they will be ready.
I highly doubt he's going to Rikers Island. Okay.
That's where they keep him.
I know,
That's
but
where he goes.
I would love to see it happen. I don't think it will. If it did, I would, rejoice. You know what I'd love? I just even love to see him in the drunk tank. Like if you go to a sporting event, some of the big sporting events, they actually have a jail like down below.
Have you been in there, Nikki?
No, I've never been in the drunk tank. I've never been arrested. Shocker, people. I know. But no, they have like a made jail down there, right? So you could be thrown in there during these major sporting events. I just want to see his ass in a orange jumpsuit, just a little bit, and it not be a costume. But it doesn't look like the classified case is going to happen. I have no idea how the Stormy Daniels case is going to come out, but she did start testifying today or yesterday, and she's going to continue to kind of try to hammer home the fact that everybody knew what was going on, even Donald Trump.
Well, she said some pretty racy things.
She's a pretty racy person.
Blacking out. She talked about smacking him in the rear end with a magazine, rolled up magazine, because he was being so naughty. She talked about how maybe there was a lack of protection used.
She said there was no condom.
Yeah.
Now, this is what kind of blows my mind. Again, I'm not knocking her business. Right? So you could be a porn, but you would think, I'm not in the business, but I thought that they practice safe sex, right? Like I thought that was the whole point is you want to practice safe sex. So you don't want to be getting knocked up. You don't want STDs. You don't want anything gross. I would think you would wrap it up, but apparently she went to the bathroom, came out. And the image in my mind, and then there's Donald Trump with his boxers on, and she said, she's like, and that's when I had a moment where I felt like the room spun in slow motion, adding that she was thinking to herself, great, I put myself in this bad situation. She says he didn't come at me, he didn't rush at me, he didn't put his hands on me, nothing like that, but that he said something to the effect of, I thought you were serious about what you wanted, insinuating that he could help propel her career beyond the porn industry. And as has been mentioned before, she wanted to be on The Celebrity Apprentice. She wanted to be on The Apprentice. She wanted to, apparently Donald Trump, I heard on the news that Donald Trump, she worried that the network would never let a porn star be on The Apprentice,
right? But
that Trump told her, I get one vote. I get one person that they can't say no to. And so it's kind of hinting to her, you could be that one person. It's like he's pulling out the Harvey Weinstein.
Totally. Ew, gross.
It is so gross.
Although he's not accused of forcing.
No, and that's what she said. He didn't force himself on me. Yeah. Asked by the prosecutor, though, if Trump was wearing a condom during the incident, Daniels replied no. And then when asked if the lack of protection concerned her, Daniels answered yes, but added that she did not say anything about it to Trump himself at the moment. I applaud her for what, to me, sounds like honesty, right? Like, look, he didn't force himself. Don't try to make this narrative like I'm an Egypt girl or anything like that. Did I want to do it? Probably not. But did he force himself on me? No.
Right.
So,
so the judge or the lawyers for Trump were freaked out, calling for a mistrial, saying there was way too much personal information talked about that was not pertinent.
What's personal if it didn't happen, Trump? How is it personal if you say it didn't happen?
Way too much. She says the details that Daniels shared about blacking out during sex with Trump and her comment on the power dynamic were completely beyond the guardrails that had been set by the court. And the judge did not. He said, I'm not declaring a mistrial, that it's possible that this particular witness was a little hard to control, but we did everything we could. And so that's that. No mistrial for you.
I mean, why would it be a mistrial? She's allowed to testify on her experience with Donald Trump. That is the point of the whole entire thing. Now, did she need to? I don't know. Again, we can't hear everything, so everything is through like CNN and reporters that are in there. But I mean, did you think it was too much?
There are some things you can't say. There are some areas you're not supposed to go, right? They do set guardrails, like, here's the discussion.
Right.
We're not going to prejudice the jury with this or this or this. We're going
Is
to
it
stick
prejudicing the jury to describe
facts.
the night that she had sex
Well,
with Donald Trump?
If he's denying that they had sex and she has these weird details that would be kind of hard and odd to make up, then yeah, I think it's pertinent to the case.
Well, I mean, how do you prove? And again, I'm not the attorney and I
Mhm.
don't know the ins and outs of every single rule that the jury or the witnesses have been given.
Mhm.
But if one side is saying it didn't happen at all, and I'm saying
Right.
it did happen, I guess I should have some sort of details about what happened.
Right.
What did you do? I
What
mean,
were you trying to hush money cover up, right?
yeah. What was
Yeah.
the conversation like? I mean, that whole conversation about, I thought you were serious about what you wanted, insinuating that something more than a porn career. I mean, that is relevant. It is completely relevant. Why else would she take a married man who just had a new baby and have sex with him? Right. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that Donald Trump didn't pay for sex. It's absolutely ridiculous. He did
Well,
it.
fits the profile.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
If you had, if it was, gosh, I'm sorry for the men in the audience. I would have a hard time believing that anybody didn't, but okay. So if it's Barack Obama and she's coming out against him and saying, did you did this or whatever,
Right.
I might have a question because there's no pattern here.
Right.
It would be a one-time, like, oh, that would be a surprise if that were true.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking.
But
Absolutely.
in
yes.
this particular case, he's cheated on every wife he's ever had. He's
Mhm.
the grab him by the pee, kind of set the
Exactly.
stage for what he's
Locker
capable
room
of.
talk him. Locker room
The
talk.
Karen McDougal thing. I don't know if you've watched that whole interview that she gave. I think it was a 60 Minutes interview. It's
Mhm.
wild. All of these things set a pattern where it's like, it's not only not out of the realm of possibility, it's a duh. Of course he did.
Of course that happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so if Donald Trump doesn't want that sort of reputation, then he shouldn't have lived his life the way he did.
Yeah.
But everybody knows who he is and what he does. He knows it. So I just find it a bit rich that he's trying to say it never happened.
Yeah.
Where's Melania in all of this? I don't like Melania. I think that she's, obviously made quite the bed with this man, but it has to be so humiliating. I mean, I don't care how rich, how famous, the fact that you were a former first lady. Everybody knows your husband effed around on you after you just had a baby. And not only that, paid to silence her and then ended up in criminal court over it. It's, you can't say that the Democrats are worse with Clinton anymore. I mean, the Republicans have now their own. Donald Trump, still the same exact thing.
And I'm sure, you've heard Hillary Clinton talk about it.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I just can't imagine, and again, I'm not in the porn industry, not knocking the porn industry, but that is your job. And, she said something like to the effect of, what could go wrong? Just kind of taking the money, being silent, all this sorts of things. This can go wrong. You know what I mean? Like everything could go wrong because you're dealing with Donald Trump. So
no. Did you hear that the judge in the case said he will allow Trump to attend his son's graduation?
Oh, that's good. I think that's fair.
Except now Trump has added on a campaign dinner as
No,
well.
No.
So
no.
you go to the graduation and then you raise some money at the end of it also.
Well, if he has the whole day off,
Yeah.
if he has the whole day, okay, I'll be fair. If he has the whole day off and you can't go to court after the graduation falls during the court times. What he does in the evening, he does in the evening. I'm actually okay with that. I mean, I don't care. If he doesn't show up to the graduation and does the campaign stop, then yes, I have a problem with it.
But look at it as more taking advantage because he made a big thing about going to the graduation.
Right.
And so if he was going to go to the graduation, then go to the graduation and spend time with your son and your family.
Oh, please.
Don't jump out and do like a campaigning thing. That's not what the day off was for.
But if he doesn't do it, then people are going to be like, look, he had the rest of the day off and he's not campaigning and he's complaining about not being able to campaign.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just still can't believe that people are going to vote for him. But again, now it's more important than ever. The classified documents case, 99.9% not going to make it to trial before the election. So, and if he gets elected, it's never going to trial. So then he just got away with it. He got away. And not only that, somebody that everybody can see shouldn't have classified documents is going to be president again. No, we can't let that happen. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that classified documents thing, I mean, that's really scary.
Yes.
That trial is put on hold. You have someone that has the nation's secrets here.
Exactly.
And is very poised to have access to them again. And he can't be trusted. So
No.
they need to figure this one out because that's serious business.
And do you think he's going to make this? I heard somebody say this and it was so true. He's not going to make the same mistake he made the first time around. He is not going to surround himself by a bunch of people that are going to challenge him in the least. It's going to be Carrie Lakes and Marjorie Taylor Greens and everybody else that has nothing between the ears except the MAGA cult chant over and over and over again. And it's going to be a bunch of yes men and yes women, and that puts our country in danger. And so, this election is so important, and we got to get out and vote. That's the most important thing. That's absolutely the most important thing.
It's
all right.
It is, although it's sad that that's what we're left with.
Well,
that
it's sad that the
system
GOP couldn't come up
done-
with a better candidate. That's what's really sad. And
Agreed.
that MAGA wouldn't stop already and find somebody else. I didn't tell you this,
What?
but guess what I saw last weekend?
Please tell.
I saw the new Fall Guy movie.
Oh, did you like it?
I did.
Did you really?
It's really cheesy. But you know what? Did you watch the Fall Guy TV show with Lee
Yeah.
Majors? Okay.
Back in
that
the day?
was cheesy. You know what I mean? It was the 80s, whatever. It was really cheesy. I will say this though. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, they just have such good, or at least act good chemistry on screen. I am
Right.
telling you, they don't even have any real backstory to their relationship. It literally starts the movie where you know that they're just to kind of get together. They're flirty. It was so natural between them. Now, of course, it's not really the third wall, but you're watching the behind the scenes of the movie type
Okay.
of thing. And so there's like a bunch of different movies going, storylines going on. There's the actual kind of murder mystery. There's the love, triangle, love affair type thing. And then there's this whole behind the scenes kind of montage and ode to stunt workers. Like that's what it seemed like to me above anything else was somebody got in the ear of whoever's behind the movie. Forgive me. I don't know who directed this movie. And was like, what about the stuntmen and women? And this whole movie is an homage to stunt workers. Like it's actually pretty cool if you think about it that way. Like just what these men and women put their bodies through and get none of the credit, right? It's just like, oh, did you see Tom Cruise? Well, Tom Cruise does a lot of his own stunts, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He bust through this building and went through fire. It's like, no, there's a person that does that. And then they kind of do a somersault and it's the actual actor. And that wasn't the person that did it at all. But I really, really liked it. My husband actually liked it.
Really?
I was kind of iffy. I was like, I want to go see Fall Guy, and he wasn't really into it, but he took me because I got to choose. And I was like, did you like it? He's like, you know what? I actually did. It was fun to
Wow.
watch. It's not going to win any Oscars. It's not
No.
Barbie, right? But it was fun. I thought it was fun, and
It
so
was directed by David Leitch
okay.
and writers Drew Pearce and Glenn Larson.
Congratulations to all of you. But yeah, I think if you like stunts, and it was totally about what stunt people go through, and not about what they go to, but it was just kind of that. And then at the end, there's a montage, and here's your little tip: stay through the credits. That's all you need to know.
You know who hated that movie or who
Tim
disliked
Sika.
that movie? Tim Sika totally didn't like that movie.
I had a feeling when I was thinking of it, I was like, I know Tim's not going to like this movie, okay? But because it's not like one of these, not even deep thinker, because I know that Tim doesn't, that's not a
Right.
bar for him. You know what I mean? I get why he probably was like, this is, I don't know, what do you say? Like sophomoric or just like no storyline
Kind of,
or what?
yes.
Yeah, something like that.
All of the above.
It was
Yeah.
fun though. It was a fun movie, and the dialogue was silly. It was just one of those, you don't have to think too much about it. Just go along for the ride. Look at Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. They're really, really cute together. I loved watching them together. I think the chemistry between them, I hope is true. I mean, they did the whole Oscar thing with the Barbie and Oppenheimer kind of
On SNL.
competition.
yeah.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like, and they did it at the Oscars too. Like it's just, it was just fun to watch. And so, yeah, there they are. And Ryan Gosling, I mean, And so is Emily
Yeah.
Blunt, but
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, you just can't go
Yeah.
wrong. Just look at him. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to be, he knows he's gorgeous. Stop. He just knows he's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm sure that Emily Blunt didn't mind kissing him. Although apparently she was telling people that she has a problem possibly kissing other co-stars. And I can't even imagine that being my job. If you have to kiss somebody, is there
Like,
anybody
this
that
is the
you have found
person.
attractive in your life? Like they were physically attractive, but they couldn't pay you to kiss them? Because that would be my problem.
If I found them physically attractive. I mean, if I found them physically attractive, if they were like a scumbag,
Yeah, like
then-
kind of a douche, right? Like there's attractive people that I'm like, I am
Yeah.
not kissing you. Like you're
No.
attractive. You're arguably, traditionally or whatever attractive,
Sure.
but I'm not. So for instance, and I'm not knocking him. It's not like I think this person is gross. I'm going to keep it in the celebrity realm. I do not think that The Rock is attractive enough to kiss. I know that
Really?
people think that he's attractive. I do not at all. I mean, not to knock him.
Mm.
I get the appeal in some circles, but if I had to kiss The Rock, I'd be like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
So have you seen the videos of him with his daughters? He's
yeah,
so
okay.
sweet.
We're not pulling the
He's a
parenting
family guy.
heartstrings here.
He's from Hawaii.
It
Like,
doesn't make me want to
I
kiss
don't
you.
know. Like, I think
No.
yes.
No.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, there's like, what's his name? Loki, the guy that plays Loki. I think that he's
Oh.
really cute, but he's not traditionally handsome. I don't
No.
think. I mean, some people might think so, but I don't think he's traditionally handsome. But
Mm-mm.
I'd kiss him. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to just be like Matthew
What about-
McConaughey, but
What about Army Hammer before you knew he was a
before he was a cannibal.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I don't find him to be attractive enough
No.
to kiss. No.
Mm-mm.
There's just some people who are like, oh my God, he's such a heartthrob. And I'm like, but am I going to put my lips to that? Like, really? I don't think so. So,
Yeah.
but then if you're hired as an actress,
You don't get to choose.
who
I
was
guess
it?
you could choose not to do the movie with that particular co-star.
Wasn't it Clark Gable who had halitosis? I think in like,
Oh, God, really?
yeah. And I think in Gone with the Wind,
Ew.
the actors were like, oh, it was so, I think it was, and forgive me if,
Did someone just slip him a mint?
well, that's but yeah, I think mint is just stinky breath with a mint. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh.
farting through a piece of gum or
Oh,
something.
he
I
had
don't
really
know.
bad teeth.
Yeah.
He had really bad teeth and really bad breath.
Yeah. I
he
heard
had
that.
He had a gum infection. He was hospitalized as the infection reached his
Oh, wow. It's worse
gallbladder.
than I thought. Yeah. So
Like,
are you going to
this
kiss
is
that?
this is a bad scene.
And then people had to kiss this person and
Yeah.
and you have to, right? So that would suck. And then there's just people that, you just realize they're not attractive enough in your mind to kiss. But Emily Blunt was being interviewed by Howard Stern. And she's like, Howard, I've had chemistry with people I haven't liked at all. It's like sometimes you can really, really like someone and you can be pals and you can have a rapport that's really effortless, but it doesn't translate on screen.
Right.
It's like, but then other times she's like, you just would want to throw up basically. But she called Ryan Gosling, by the way, amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, she's not going to say it's him when the movie just came out.
Well, no, she's not going to say it's him. And I really don't
Yeah.
think it's Ryan Gosling. But do you know how hard it has to be for John Krasinski, her husband, to like just, I don't know if I would want to watch my wife making out with hot men all the time, right?
Well,
like,
that's the business they're in. I mean, she has to watch him making out with hot women.
I mean, but when's the last time that John Krasinski was making out with somebody? I feel like Emily
No.
Blunt's doing more of the kissing than John Krasinski is. I mean, I'm sure he is. I mean, he did The
Maybe.
Office. He's done, what was that Prime show? Was it Jack something or other? I don't know. He's been in stuff, but I feel like the kissing is few and far between. He's more like an action star, not necessarily a makeout star.
Yeah, he did some action movie where didn't he like have a love interest in that?
Yeah, but it's different than like
know.
Ryan Gosling making out, rolling around in the sand. You know what I mean? Like,
They're probably
Choose-
all friends and laugh about it.
oh, ha, ha, ha,
Yeah.
ha. Now go make out naked with my wife. That would not be something I would sign up for. But again, it's what you're paid to do. So you know what? More power to him. But I do give 2 thumbs up. If you're going to go to the movies and you want to see something fun and light, I liked The Fall Guy. I really, really
Yeah.
did. So go check it out. I think it's fun and yeah, hottie patati Ryan Gosling, isn't it? So there you go.
I will wait for it to come out on video. How's
There
that?
you go. There you go. All right, you guys, click the thumbs up button. Show your support for the show. We really do appreciate it. Thank you to people who are reaching out through email, donating to our show. Please donate. It's what's going to keep the show on. So if you'd like to see it, please go to thenikkimadoroshow.com. We depend on our Patreon subscribers and our PayPal donors to keep the show going. So thenikkimadoroshow.com has the Patreon link. If you want PayPal, just go to paypal.com. The email address is thenikkimadoroshow@gmail.com. thenikkimadoroshow@gmail.com is also the way that you reach me. And also support our sponsor, Auntie Tabby's Island Flavors. The hot sauce is hibiscus and pineapple. We also have the guava barbecue sauce. On Friday, I'm going to show you what I made this week. Some of you may have already seen it, but I will show you more of the video. I made something and I just doused it in the hot sauce because, you know, I like it spicy. It was bomb. What are you talking about? It was delicious. So antitabbies.com, use the coupon code NICKKIM, NIKKIM, to get 10% off each and every order. You guys are going to want to bathe in the stuff. I am telling you, it is delicious. All right. We will be back tomorrow talking about all things. We'll talk about the Boy Scouts changing their name. Yep. Does that mean the Boy Scouts, Kim, have gone woke? I hate that phrase, but are they a bit? We'll talk about that. Maybe. We'll talk about pot and don't drink your parents out of your parents' cup. It's very, very important, or your teacher's cup or whatever. All right. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for being here. And until tomorrow, bye-bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. Mistrial, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.